Welcome to That 80s Show, the show for people who knows what Mello-Yellow tastes like.
Yo, I thought that was going to go in a different direction.
You know, Yellow Snow almost came out.
Ooh, that's the first thing I thought of. I don't know why. Why does my brain work like that, Paulo?
I don't know, Dori. I'm just saying innocent things, talking about delicious childhood beverages.
I do remember what Mello-Yellow tasted like.
Named after 1960s hippie songs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you talking about drinking piss. like the piss goblin of a Berlin nightclub. How the fucking hell are you, Dori?
I'm alive, Paulo.
Oh dear.
Which in this day and age is something.
As we've discussed, Dori has the immune system of a small Victorian child.
I do.
You know when you see those black and white photos of going back to the 1880s?
Yes.
And you see those fucking sorry little kids, and you go like, these kids are 9 years old, but look at their faces.
They look 27.
They've seen everything.
Yeah.
And they would die by 11.
Yes.
Of like being sat on by a fly. And fortunately, you don't live in those times, Dori. You live in the times of antibiotics.
Yes.
And vaccines.
Yes.
And the 1980s. This is That 80s Show, a show where we travel back to the 1980s. Been on it a little bit. It's a weird time of year in South Africa. There's holidays, there's Fridays. People listen, they don't listen. We don't always feel like working on public holidays.
No.
So hence.
But they are done, the public holidays, so now we have to kind of be responsible adults.
Now we're trucking along 88 miles per hour in our DeLorean towards the finest 1980s content that you're going to hear over the next 40 minutes, a little tighter show today. And one thing I'm going to say is that Live Aid 40. Now, we know Live Aid 40 last year, they re-released. Do they know it's Christmas? Did they re-release it? No, they re-released the original.
Yeah,
There was
they
a thing.
didn't make any changes. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff over it. So, of course, it was the 40th anniversary of Do They Know It's Christmas? And they go, cool. And they're milking it.
Oh, okay.
No, but they must milk it because this is, you see, you got to understand when you do a show about 1980s culture, nostalgia, and memories, you need things like guys milking the shit out of Live Aid 40 because that gives us weeks of content.
Yeah.
You need things like Stranger Things. My God, Stranger Things season 5's only coming out in November. I need it now because we need content. Because what happens when those shows come out? There's inevitably a song that comes out with it.
Yes.
They get a cameo from some 1980s person. They go, who is that person? And then you go, oh, that's a 1980s person. And then it gives us stuff to talk about. You see, so you got to drag it out. So when I see stuff like Live Aid 40 and them milking that cow.
Yeah.
Or that cow, if there was a cow, it would have been one of those Victorian children cows. Skinny.
The other
fly-infested.
thing, shame.
Because it would be milked
To
shitless.
death.
Yeah.
The other thing is, we don't know how much longer all those people are going to be with us. I hate to get so dark so early, but
3.5 minutes, we've talking about death, pestilence, and piss snow. No, but you're quite right, and it's actually funny that you say that. So let me tell you about the two things that Bob Geldof is milking.
right.
So firstly, did you know, I think we did speak about it, but now they kind of had like a soft launch of it, and now they're going big with the Live Aid stage show, the musical called Just for One Day.
Huh, yes, I think you've mentioned that, yes.
So, of course, there were documentaries that went with it and all the things behind the scenes, but then they went, let's make a stage show of the happenings. You know, the circumstances around recording the song. And
Even though there's already footage of it.
Yes, but this is like they call it a jukebox musical that talks about the events leading up to Live Aid.
Okay.
Through a modern day lens. You see, so that's very fancy. I sound
That's
like
very PR.
Barry Wronger there.
Very PR.
So it is so PR, yeah, because it even talks about it's written by John O'Farrell, who wrote Mrs. Doubtfire and Something Rotten. The show blends real historical moments with fictional subplots to explore the culture and humanitarian impact of the concert. Now, I've seen like promo videos and stuff of the show, and it is that. So you kind of got You got people playing Bob Geldof and Midge-Ure. They're the two that I saw. But then there's also this like fictional story set in Africa of the people that are affected. And then there's multiple fictional stories of then people who want to go to the concert and are donating to Live Aid. And so that's all put together in song.
Okay. I mean, I suppose that could go either way. Like if the stories are interesting, I don't know. I get nervous when I hear fictionalized.
Well, so of course it's a retelling. So it features music by Queen, David Bowie, U2, Elton John, Madonna, The Who, Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, Diana Ross, Run DMC, The Boomtown Rats, Sade, Simple Minds, Pretenders, Ultravox, Spandau Ballet, The Style Council, Bryan Adams, The Beach Boy, Martha and the Vandellas, and Status Quo, plus The Cars, Dori. So,
sure,
those people didn't even all perform at Live Aid. They were just like involved. That's, I suppose, the story of it. The original cast album is scheduled to be released in July. And I think the new stage show opens up on the 15th of May. It's a fully realized rock album and a love letter to the 80s. But that cow is not fully milked yet. There is still some moisture in those teats.
Yes.
Because on July 13, 2025, the exact date of the original Live Aid concert, you remember the song came out by Christmas and the concert was the following July. A special gala performance of Just for One Day will be held at the Shaftesbury Theatre. Surprise guest appearances.
Oh, to be there, hey?
Midge-Ure, the co-founder of Live Aid, expressed emotional reactions to the musical. And him and Bob Geldof have been doing a lot of press stuff this week in response to it. It's going to be broadcast live on BBC. There's going to be rumors that you will still be able to donate to the Live Aid Fund and the Live Aid initiatives. So it's all happening, Dori, with Live Aid. And you know what? I've got to tell you, if it wasn't for Midge-Ure being so involved in this, I might have a problem. I'd find it cynical. But we saw you. Oh, you didn't see him.
I didn't see. I missed it.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
He performed
so you
about
have
2 months ago.
spot now.
Yeah, no, listen, he was phenomenal. Really, really good. He actually wasn't the final act. He wasn't the headline. Thomas Bailey of Thompson Twins was.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Midge-Ure should have been the big act because he did the thing.
Vienna and all that, you know.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing. So there's going to be a stage musical, live performances, BBC live stream, Live Aid 40. Milk that to death. And of course, once it's all out, we will bring you the reviews. We'll let people know.
And we'll be honest.
No, we like it. It's all for a good cause, and that cause is keeping us in
It'll probably be
content.
good, actually. I actually am not too cynical about this.
No, because you know what? One thing you want to say, but like you can say a lot of stuff about Bob Geldof, but the dude knows how to put on a show, and you know he's a perfectionist.
Yes.
So everything will be top class, and like surprise performances.
Oh,
Madonna and Elton John.
Yeah.
Performing together.
Probably.
Hey,
let's be honest. I mean, probably.
That'll be a We Are the World moment at Do They Know It's Christmas while singing Do They Know It's Christmas. So every week on that 80s show, we like to go back. And I know Dori's been very busy, not time to watch movies.
No, sorry.
Even all the holidays. I've found time to watch a movie.
That's amazing.
So we're going to jump straight into my movie, Dori. It's a romantic comedy.
Yay, I love a romantic comedy. Oh, dear.
It is a romantic comedy.
With a twist.
It features a lovely lady played by Michelle Little called Denny. That you won't have known anybody in this movie. You may know the main actor, but by face. And when I tell you where he's from. But
okay.
She is in typical rom-com 80s style. She's unlucky in love. Oh, shame. Her name's Denny. Quirky chick, lives in, the east side, New York, east side, the village.
Yes.
Right. I think that's the east side. I don't know.
Oh.
But she's kind of that cool, quirky, unlucky in love. Wears a hat. You know those hats they wore in the 80s?
Yes.
It's the kind of like Tiffany hat. Madonna wore that hat. Susan, when they desperately found her, she had that hat. And she arrives home one day and her boyfriend has taken all her stuff. He's moving out. Fuck you, I hate you. This relationship's over.
Taken her stuff or his stuff?
All their stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Because she had the audacity to try throw herself a birthday party. So this is on her birthday. She arrives home. He finds out plans. She wants to throw a birthday party for herself.
Yeah.
I'm out. So he's a dick.
Clearly.
It just shows you she's bad men. Like, why would? He's like a rocker type dude. You can tell this because he's got a checked shirt with the sleeves torn off over a t-shirt.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, and it's only Doc Martens. So you know this guy's rock.
Okay.
That's the first and last.
Grunge before grunge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's carrying out stuff in a van, flips her the bird, he's off. Oh no.
Good riddance.
Yeah. In rom-com style, she's got a sexually liberated best friend.
Of course she does.
Because we needed that in the 80s.
Yes.
Women's lib, women control their own body. And this friend was the embodiment of that. And not only is she sexually liberated, she's like into occultish stuff. She's a psychic. She does rituals. She sells potions. And she's got a store that does this.
Right.
She has visions. Okay. She's got what's described as a new age shop.
Okay.
So they're best friends. And she goes, oh, this is terrible. I'm so unlucky in love. And then there's a brief interaction in her store with a client called Charles. Now, Charles is a weird guy. He's always the best friend, the sexually liberated best friend called Sonia. And she looks like a Sonia, Sandra, that kind of genre of 80s looking woman, got a bit of an accent. And Charles comes into the store and he's always buying stuff, buying potions and shit like that, love potions. And he obviously sees Denny, takes a liking to her. She's so nice to him. He goes, oh, this is fantastic. Sonia says, Charles, get the fuck out of here. Hate you. Fuck off.
Okay.
Okay. Again, Denny gets in the hiss about love. Then she's out randomly having lunch on the street, and it's quite funny in the movie. In the current reviews of the movie, the next character's name is Kaz. Is described as a busker, a transient busker with a complicated living situation. That's how he's referred to in like current reviews. In the 80s, it's a hobo.
Oh.
Kaz a hobo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just about to say. Yeah.
So we first see Kaz in like a cutaway scene. He's on the subway playing saxophone, trying to get some money. There's a woman sitting on the bus. Her top's a little bit open. And as he's playing it, he like starts getting all hot under the collar. And we see like the hair on his neck stand up, and he's like gritting his teeth and that. Okay, cool. That's the first time we see Kaz. Next time we see Kaz, he's now harassing Denny. Steals her food, spits it out. He's played by a guy called Scott Valentine. Now, Scott Valentine played Valerie, Justine Bateman's character.
Yeah.
He was her boyfriend in Family Ties. Family Matters? Family Ties?
Family Ties.
Family Ties, yeah. So he was her boyfriend for like a season.
Okay.
And he was a bit of a pinup guy. If you see a photo of him, you might know him. You were into pinups. He was never the main pinup. He was never the double page spread.
Yeah.
But maybe towards the back, like an extra poster.
Yeah.
And they were like, listen, this guy's quite popular. We're going to put him in a rom-com. He could be the next guy, right? He first meets Denny, typical homeless guy, shouts at her, steals her food, follows her home.
Oh, wow.
She finds us so cute, so gorgeous. She's just like, come on in.
Yeah,
okay?
as you do.
As you do. Hence their relationship starts.
Oh, okay. He's no longer homeless now.
No longer homeless, living with her. And you go, oh, this is cute. This is interesting.
I hope he had a shower.
Where's this going? He doesn't come across as dirty.
Okay.
He's got beautiful hair, beautiful curly hair. Doesn't come across as dirty. And, of course, the relationship progresses a bit. I assume all on her dime. And the one day they start getting hot and heavy. Bit of kissing, bit of fooling around on the couch. And this is where you don't at this point know, Dori, the name of this movie.
I don't. I was about to ask.
Yeah. You'd suspect what's up because the movie's called My Demon Lover. And as they're messing around on the couch, he's been cursed. And he starts turning into a demon.
Okay.
So when he was in high school, he was messing around for what was then known, I know you're not supposed to say this word now, but a gypsy's girlfriend, a gypsy's daughter.
Okay.
And the mother put a curse on him.
Okay.
And that every time he got sexually aroused, he'd turn into a demon. So
that is very unfortunate.
Yes, this of course fucked up his whole life. So now he starts messing around with her and he turns into a demon. But it's never one demon. Okay. It's multiple demons, different types of demons.
Is it like bad makeup? How does he look?
Here's the thing.
Right.
Because they're going, it's 1987. We've just done Ghostbusters. I think we're at the peak of CGI.
Oh, God.
So he turns into all these different demons just to show off.
Right.
Oh, we got CGI, we got prosthetics, we got puppetry, I think that's why he turns into all these different demons for them to show what they can do.
Yeah.
At one point, he's got wings. Another time, his head disappears. He's just all
this
different
actually
demons.
sounds kind of cool. Probably not for him, but
no. Well, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And there's no specific. So she now sees this, and of course, Denny, what do you think she does? Is she freaked out by this?
No, of course not.
She loves this. This is fantastic. Oh, it's cute. It's his thing.
Yeah.
Right? And there's not a specific type of arousal that awakens a certain demon. So it's not to say kissing is this demon.
Yeah.
Right? It's just
random.
It's random, whatever.
Okay.
Sees a magazine of. He's a bit of a pervert. I got to be honest. He gets aroused a lot by the smallest things.
Okay.
At the same time, Dori, a spate of murders hit the city, and the murderers described as having scaly skin and a tail. So she now goes, fuck, is it Kaz?
Yeah.
She confronts him. Kaz says, no, fuck, it's not me. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Every time these murders have happened, I'm with you. She goes to her psychic friend. Psychic friend has a vision. She goes, it's Kaz. He's the murderer.
Of course.
She's like, oh, this is terrible, murderer, whatever. Kaz goes, no, I've got to declare my innocence. I've got to get this right. I've got to get this right. We got to prove myself innocent. Denny's like, 100% believe.
Yeah.
I love the demon sex. Okay, I don't want it to stop. We got to prove your innocence.
Right.
Is there a second demon? Now, Dori, we go back to Charles. Remember the guy I told you, the customer?
Yes.
He kept taking the love potions. Mm-hmm. He's been experimenting with them and the occult and stealing potions and stealing books. And he's made a potion that now turns him into a similar demon. So he's the one
killer.
Going around. Kaz figures this out. Okay?
Yeah.
But before he can tell Denny, Charles, in demon form, intercepts Denny. She thinks it's him.
Oh, no.
He takes her to this castle, and now he's going to... I don't understand if he's going to break the spell, make the spell more. He's got to sacrifice her. We know she's not a virgin.
Yes.
Trust me, she's not a virgin. He's got to sacrifice her for some reason. We don't actually know why. Because he seems to be very happy.
Doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah, he's super happy that he's a demon.
Right.
I don't know if he becomes more of a demon, whatever. So that's not why they're doing this. And Kaz now, as he's awakening all the spirits, all the things, Kaz arrives, demon battle, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Demon battle. Kaz beats Charles Demon, saves the day, and suddenly he turns back into his human form.
Okay. He's broken
They
this.
kiss. He goes, I'm not a demon.
Oh, she must have been so disappointed.
That's the thing. Now, let me tell you something that worries me, right? When Kaz arrives, he's human.
Yeah.
When he walks upon the scene, he now turns into a demon. So, meaning he's been aroused.
By what?
The other demon.
Right.
Being cucked by the other demon.
Right.
His girlfriend tied up in the state. Like
legit. Sounds legit.
So what has aroused him?
Like you said earlier, he is easily aroused. Maybe the castle.
You could have that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what arouses Kaz to turn him into the final demon.
He needs to be a demon to have the demon fight.
Yeah, but he has to be a demon.
Yes.
So he's like, I don't know.
I'm going with the girl tied up.
Opens Instagram, looks at some, AI baddies. Oh, demon,
Mm-hmm.
And then they fight, and that's great. And he beats Charles, and the spell is broken.
Right.
I think Denny's very disappointed in this.
Yes.
Because now here's the thing. I would love to know what happens in My Demon Lover Part 2. Because now you're going, here's the reality. We actually got fuck all money. Because at no point does Denny work. They still live in the shitty apartment. You're a demon, like you've not worked. And now the sex is gone. The demon sex is gone. So, like, all the things that attracted me to you.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the homeless thing.
Definitely trouble in paradise now.
You're not homeless. So I don't think they live happily ever after.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Maybe he has to go and find the old gypsy lady to be recursed.
Like, come up with a better curse.
Yeah.
Or you're probably right. To recurse.
Go to the friend's potion shop and find something else.
Just keep mixing the shit up. So that is the movie, My Demon Lover.
Okay.
The week it was released, it was in the top 10 movies. Now remember then, a lot of movies were released a week. Nowadays you get one or two.
Yeah.
And it was all based off Scott Valentine being this bit of a pin-up boy, kind of being...
And I assume there was nudity in this movie?
No, actually, no.
Oh, really?
Almost.
So not like a sexy rom-com.
Not a sexy one. I think the nudity would have taken it up a different level. But then I think it would have really gone into that kind of like really obscure, this is kind of like
B-grade.
B-grade, yeah. This is kind of on the level.
Okay.
Scott Valentine, kind of the guy who never was, because they kept trying to spin off his character into other sitcoms.
I'm going to have to Google and see what he looks like, but I'm sure I will recognize him.
He's very cute. He's very cute.
Look, it sounds like a watchable movie, Paulo. It doesn't sound terrible.
It's all on YouTube for your viewing pleasure.
Excellent.
A lot of themes are performed, a lot of themes are explored.
Yes.
If you're into that sort of thing. Or you can just watch nonsense. It's really silly. It's really silly. His demons are all over the place.
I'm kind of curious to see what they look like.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Should I pop up a photo of Scott Valentine for you so you can see?
Why not?
Well, that's him now. He's still quite dashing. Have a look there, Dori.
Okay.
He's still that nice one there with the cross earring.
That's what I'm looking at, and I totally recognize him from that picture.
I knew. You probably had that. That would have been the poster.
That would have been on my wall.
Yeah, that would have been the poster. Good looking guy. If you want a comparison.
Okay, but I'm going to say something really mean.
Oh, dear.
He's like if you ordered Rob Lowe off Wish.
So you can see what they were going for.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite the guy. He could have been the guy. You see, you could take a punt. He's there. He's got a TV show, or he's on a TV show. Let's take a chance.
Yeah.
You know?
He just off the mark, though. Like, it's just not quite there.
Now, beautiful segue, Dori.
Mm-hmm.
If you were... I don't think there is anybody in the world who would be upset for being mistaken for John Stamos.
No.
Right? If somebody thinks you're John Stamos, have mercy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one's complaining. Except one person did complain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play you the audio of a video, Dori. I want you to pop on your headphones. You can find this at 80 Show SA Facebook. Everything we speak about today can be found on there. Take a listen to this mistaken identity of John Stamos.
This is John Stamos. What he looks like, though.
Okay, guys, am I John Stamos? No! Who am I? Dude, you gotta get better. You gotta get better at your job.
It's usually about having fun, I don't expect to run into people, so
I see. Okay. All right. Don't listen to him.
Hey, but thank you for your cool energy, man.
Right.
Thank you for being cool.
So the audio is okay-ish. I'm going to describe it to you, but you got to go watch this video. So these Hollywood tours.
Yes.
Driving around, doing the celebrity spotting, going to celebrities' houses. And this video cuts in of Rob Lowe looking at his friend holding the camera phone going, what the fuck? And he goes to the guy, that's where he picks up. He goes, am I John Stamos? And everyone goes, no. The guy on the celebrity tour saw Rob Lowe walking in the street and went, oh my God, if you look to your right, there's John Stamos.
Oh my God. Okay, now I understand.
And Rob Lowe's like, I'm not fucking John Stamos.
Okay, John Stamos is hot.
Good looking, right?
But Rob Lowe is next level hot.
That's what I'm saying.
You do not, that is actually an insult.
There are very few people who being compared to John Stamos is actually insulting.
Yes.
It's got to be Rob Lowe. So what you can't hear there is that he says to the guy, he says, well, the tour guide says, well, I never really expect to see anybody. So I was quite shocked.
I don't know who celebrities are. I never see any.
This is my first day on the job. Imagine
That's
that. The
so
fucking
funny.
chance. You run these celebrity tours, these spotting tours. You finally spot one and then you fucking miss Hottie him.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And the only person in the world being upset.
I want to watch that video.
It is a quick little video on John Stamos, on Rob Lowe's account.
On Instagram.
He
Okay.
even captioned it, am I being punked? But the speed at which he must have got his friend to pull out the camera.
Yeah.
Because it's almost immediate. So obviously I imagine that the tour bus, as you can see it, stopped.
Yes.
And staring at him, he's like, pop out the camera. This is fucking
Something's going to
ridiculous.
go down here, yeah.
So that is a case of mistaken identity. And then continuing with now John Stamos news. Of course, he was the big hottie in the 80s and 90s, Uncle Jesse. There is a podcast hosted by two of the cast members who played the younger girls. Stephanie, and then remember the neighbor on Full House, the annoying neighbor.
No, I honestly don't remember much about Full House except for John Stamos.
Right. So the neighbor, the character's name was Kimmy Gibbler. And so it's Stephanie Tanner played, Jodie Sweetin played Stephanie Tanner. And then her name's disappeared, yeah. But they host a podcast, and they say, and the podcast is people can send them questions about Full House. Because there's a whole thing about Full House because of Full House.
It's so
people
weird.
love it, I know.
I know. Like, it was so meh, except for John Stamos.
It was so meh, but I think, it's like, I think it was meh because it didn't have the edge of other 80s and 90s sitcoms. And then I think like now
too family friendly.
Yeah, but now with how woke people are and people get offended by Seinfeld and Friends, to kind of go discover those old things, and it's like not problematic. It's wholesome. It's got John Stamos.
Blended family idea.
Yeah. It's got Lori Loughlin. What's not to like
also,
actually?
Like not really. All innocent.
She didn't do anything wrong. She's a rich person, used her connections to make money. I find nothing.
I just love her from Secret Admirer. That's all.
I find nothing wrong with what she did.
I
anyway,
know. Yes.
And they were saying that the most disturbing thing that they used to get was when they were young and in the show, and they were like 11 years old, specifically the two of them. They kept getting asked in interviews, "Do you have a crush on John Stamos?"
But they were children.
Exactly, and they're going, it was so awkward, and they say it was just so problematic of the media at the time going, well, firstly, we're children. We're 11, so we're not going to have a crush.
He's playing our uncle.
And that's the thing. They said, because they even go, well, like, the male characters were like cast to us. They go, no, they were literally like uncles to us.
Yes.
Like, that's what our relationship was. It's like, they said, you just don't see that. This is just a guy who you work with, and he's like, you're very close. And
then you grow up and go, oh, wait.
I had peak John Stamos. Although, I don't know. John Stamos is always peak John Stamos.
Yeah.
When John Stamos moves, that's where he moves the peak until he reaches Mount Low. And then you got to accept where you are.
Then accept your place.
I think you
Stay in your lane.
I think you got to accept. Not everyone can be Kilimanjaro. Right. Not everyone can be Everest. Sometimes you just have to be Kilimanjaro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was disturbing. Imagine being asked that. Do you have a crush? Do you have a crush on John Stamos? Yes, but not in this context.
Yeah.
Difficult to think.
Yeah, no, that's, the media. What do they know?
Especially in the 80s. We like to have fun on the show, talk a little bit of nonsense, but I am going to tell you something that you did not know. What is your latest knowledge on Michael Bolton?
Literally nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
A story that completely missed the entire world. Do you know that he had a very aggressive brain cancer diagnosis?
That actually sounds familiar.
And he's spoken for the first time recently, actually talking about it. He's had surgery. There's no word here that he's in remission. It's just the first time he's spoken about it.
Okay.
So he was first diagnosed with it. He had emergency brain surgery in December 2023.
Okay.
Right? And his family had noticed he was stumbling around, forgetting words. They went bowling and he kept like getting in the wrong order, fell out of his chair, and they're like, is he tired? Is he stressed? He's in his 70s. He's still touring. And an MRI scan revealed he had a very, very rare and aggressive form of brain cancer. They've operated on it. Like I say, there's not details on the diagnosis or the latest prognosis on it. One of the funny stories is when he wakes up from the surgery, he sees his two daughters who are in their 40s now, and he starts singing to them. The nurse, not knowing who Michael Bolton is, goes, wow, did you know he could do this? Or is this just one of those things of when people have strokes or comas or whatever?
And then they wake up with a new talent.
It's like, holy shit, this is one of those. This guy
funny.
fucking sings fantastically. So he's been talking about like what how he's enjoying every moment. He's in his 70s, and now spending time with his grandchildren. He says that he always felt, up until he had grandchildren in this event, is that his legacy was his music, but he's realized like that's actually irrelevant. Like this is his family is.
Oh, sweet story. I was never a fan, but sweet story.
You know when I became a fan of Michael Bolton, because of course he did all the cheesy stuff.
Yes,
and
very cheesy.
Oh my God. Like Michael Bolton was just the cheesiest, and we were like start of high school dancers when he was out. So you just know everyone is fucking arm's length dancing to Michael Bolton. You go ask your crush if you can dance to I Said I Loved You, But I Lied. Like, But when he did the Lonely Island song about Captain Jack Sparrow, did you ever see that with Andy Samberg?
No.
I want to pop that up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page. He did it was an SNL skit.
Okay.
Where he sang the song. So the Andy Samberg and the Lonely Island guys, they get Michael Bolton. They want him to sing this new love song for them.
Okay.
But he's obsessed with Captain Jack Sparrow.
That's so
So
funny.
in the song, he keeps breaking off and singing about Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, funny.
Like really good. And it's like the first time you see Michael Bolton, you go, you're a fucking funny guy.
Yeah.
I think it's like Kenny G as well. He's also like super funny, but you wouldn't think it.
Well, it's like James Blunt. James Blunt's hilarious.
He's got a funny voice, so you know it, and he's funny looking.
Have you seen his Twitter?
No. James Blunt's hilarious. James Blunt is hilarious. Back in the 80s, I think the worst combo you could have imagined was Michael Bolton and Kenny G.
Yeah.
Did they do a duet?
So much hair.
They must have done a duet.
I don't know,
So
but
much
just
cheese.
all the long curls.
Anyway, take a moment to think about Michael Bolton. When I saw the story, I actually started going back and looking at his songs. I go, fuck, the guy was prolific. The dude had a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And it is, you kind of remember him just for the hair and the cheesiness.
Yeah.
Great artist and a funny dude as well. And we hope that story has a happy ending. And we then go to another one of our favorites on this 80s show, Sea Dog.
Oh, the return of Sea Dog.
Now, we thought we had cutting edge technology in the 80s. One of the things we had was teletext. Remember, we had that like late 80s, early 90s. Like, to explain this concept, was it a channel on your TV?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes, because I used to see it on the TV. So yes,
it was a special channel you went on your TV.
Yes.
And it had like really basic
Purple,
dot matrixy type text.
Purple lettering on the black background.
Yes.
But yes, very like...
Burn your eyes. And it had categories. It had news with a number, sport with a number next to it, weather with a number. And then you put that number in and it would take you to a news page.
Yeah.
And it would take you to a sport page. And like that's how we got
It was the beginning of the internet.
Kind of right?
Yeah. It's so exciting.
One thing we had, I know we had little bits of it. More so when like the cell phone networks came in. It wasn't huge just before then. But hotlines.
Yes.
Okay. Did we have many hotlines in South Africa?
I just know about the sex ones.
Okay. So there were those. There were more innocent ones. And I discovered, much to my delight, I couldn't wait to share it with you, the Corey Haim and Corey Feldman hotline. Okay. It's, you as a fan could call 1-900-909-3300. I did try phone it. Obviously for South Africa it's not going to work. 1-900-909-3300 to your pre-recorded messages from the teen heartthrobs. The service charged $2 for the first minute and 45 cents for each additional minute.
Hang on, how many minutes did you have to be on the line for?
It's Corey Feldman. Now, I'm going to play you the promo video for it, right?
Okay.
Take a listen. This, again, going that 80 show because the audio is great, but the video is just... But I love audio, and I think you can paint a picture in your mind of what's going on here.
Guess what? Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are giving out their personal numbers. If you call 1-900-909-3700, you can listen to their private phone messages and get their personal number where you can leave them a message of your own. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Ask your parents before you call. 1-900-909-3700.
If you call me right now, I'll give you my private number.
You call that number and you'll hear a recording, and I'll give you my personal number if you call that, and we'll wrap.
Oh my goodness.
Now, Corey Feldman, I tell you in that, no fucking idea what he's talking about. Because they're not together. It keeps cutting.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, there's montagey stuff. There's little clips of their movies.
Yeah.
And there's like, but the two of them like giving the details. Corey Haim kind of gives a bit more details. Corey Feldman standing in a desert.
Probably stoned out of his mind. Let's be honest.
Both of them probably were, but
Yeah.
Corey Haim pulled the shit together for this particular shot. So you say, how long did you have to hold on for? Well, because I can 100% guarantee you that they kept teasing you with their, I'm going to give you my personal number.
Yes.
So,
and then also you could leave a message for them, and then you're going to rap. You're going to rap with them.
you're going to rap. You're just going to have
Except it's not.
It's not
really.
Not at all. So they discuss topics like their acting experiences, personal anecdotes, their friendship, and their kissing skills.
Ooh.
Now, I 100% guarantee you that after 9 minutes, will they tease you that coming up is not only their kissing skills, but their personal phone numbers.
Right.
After 25 minutes, they'll say, just hold on, because soon we will be revealing our personal phone number. To give you a tease, here are the first 3 numbers. Ooh, the next 3 numbers are released very soon. Just hold on to hear this trailer for my latest movie. That's exactly. So next thing you know, you're on there for 30 minutes waiting for their personal phone numbers.
Which you'll never get.
Or you got, and it just sends you to another one. Hi, you've reached the voicemail.
Definitely not their real personal numbers.
Never in a million years, Dori. What
Maybe a
scam.
car phone.
What would you want to hear from either of the either of the Coreys?
I have to tell you, when I was a teenager in the 80s, this would have probably excited me a bit. I have to tell you. I think I would have done it without my parents' permission.
I used to call the soccer ones. And but it was the biggest load of bullshit nonsense. This is clickbait.
Yeah.
It was all absolute clickbait. You never learned anything, but we were so information starved.
Yeah, and it was a new gimmicky thing, right?
And it was their voices. You go,
yeah.
Oh my God. It's actually weird because we've got so much access to celebrities now.
Yeah.
That you just go, oh God, that person talking again. Where then it was like, oh my God, I never hear that. This is like them. This is really, they left a message for me.
Crazy, man.
You know, should we start that 80s show hotline? We should really do that.
We really should.
And just dial to your random thoughts at any time.
I mean, basically the show. That's our random thoughts at any time.
But we could make $2 for the first minute and 45 cents every minute thereafter.
I like the way you think.
I doubt they made a lot of money out of this.
What would we tease? Because I suppose we could tease our personal numbers.
Who would want to call that? I wouldn't answer. I really wouldn't answer.
No.
We've got a lot of secrets about people.
That's true.
We do, that we can never talk about on the show.
That
so
is
maybe
true.
It could be that.
Yes.
You know, I mean, do we want to defame people? So it's not defamations.
No.
First-hand accounts.
Yeah.
Are you interested in that? You know, 0800 80 80 80. You know, when your podcast is being naughty, called 84 40 40. Hey, there's the ad. It's all done. It's all done for you.
It's so funny.
So that is Corey Feldman's, the Coreys. One has got to check in on C-Dog. I'm telling you, actually now that I think about it, Corey Feldman still goes and checks if that number's active and checks if he's making any money from it. When he sees a transaction, because remember, he got in a lot of trouble spending a shitload of money on laundry.
Yeah.
And he checks his bills. Oh shit, $2. That's my hotline. He phones that number. He phones that number, that's for sure. I think we should phone it just for C-Dog. Let him see his little $2.
Have we put Barrett onto getting C-Dog for an interview?
Fuck, you would hate us. Honestly, it'd tell us to fuck off. So this has been that 80 show, a shorter show today. Everything we've spoken about on the show today can be found on that 80 show SO on Facebook, or just check through our show notes. Dori, you gonna watch my movie?
I'm so gonna watch your movie.
Indeed.
I can't wait, actually.
And let's give a shout on that Corey to Corey's hotline. Make a Corey's dream come true. $2 is a lot of money.
Yeah,
actually, for 1980s money.
That is a lot.
Although exchange rate was better, I think it was the rand was stronger than the dollar.
Yeah, it's a lot for American money.
It is actually a lot. $2. Yeah. But I remember there's a whole controversy about those things. But ask your parents before you call. Always had to ask our parents, because they'd be on the other line. Then you'd have to take the long phone extension cord to your room.
Yes.
You know, that's when you're fancy. That was mobile telephone. The first we ever saw of it. This has been That 80 Show. That 80 Show. Say Facebook. Check the show notes. Thanks for joining me, Dori. Goodbye.
Bye.